This is part 2, which is a continuation of part 1, obviously. But we're just talking about the top tech and business trends because those are the two things I'm interested in. Anyways, this is part 2 of it, so I hope you enjoy it. Trend number 6. All right, conspiracy theorists, don't shoot the messenger, but large-scale development of 5G infrastructure. The demand for high-speed internet and a transition to smart home and city systems, it's just totally pushed the development for 5G and 6G. I know 6G is coming. I know you guys didn't think about it. But in 2022, large corporations, startups are going to start creating new infrastructure on this basis. And many carriers are already rolling out 5G. Australia is building an entire infrastructure before the pandemic and will continue to do so. American companies like Verizon, who keeps taking about $120 out of my pocket, they announced a massive expansion of 5G network back in 2020. And it's going to cover more than 200 million people. Check it out. The technology is spreading rapid in China as well. And more than 35 countries already offer it. And then we're just talking about the big players. Look, if you look at the startups, a lot of them are trying to get into 5G world. They're trying to do like 5G to transfer data over long distances. So 5G, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I don't think it's causing COVID. I don't think it's causing anything outside of faster speeds. Maybe 6G is the one that we need to watch out for. Trend number 7. I kind of mentioned this already, but I just wanted to make sure it had its own category to show you how important it is. Development of artificial intelligence, robotics, and the industrial automation movement. So in 2022, the demand for AI and industrial automation, it's going to be huge.
Fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, showcased its automated restaurant in Moscow. In an outlet nicknamed a Restaurant of the Future by KFC, any possible interactions between customers and staff are reduced to the bare minimum.
If you got money, you can automate anything, you are onto something because people are lazy. And if you can make their life easier by making a robot or a machine or software do it for them, you might have a $1 billion idea on your hands. Like legitimate, you might. Because as production and supply returns to their previous levels, labor shortages will become a serious problem. So automation with AI, robotics, IoT, they're going to be the main alternative for manufacturing management. Let me just give you a list of companies that are really trying to do the whole industry automation. UB Tech Robotics, China. Cloud Minds, America. Bright Machines, America. Robu, China. Preferred Networks, Japan. Fetch Robotics, America. Locust Robotics, America. And then there's one that kind of thought, China really be coming up with names, y'all. XYZ Robotics, China. If you know it's a trend, it's really some big players in there who are trying to get ahead of this part of the world, right? And you're going to see China and America, and it might be like battle of the machines one day. But I can tell you for now, 2022, AI, robotics, IoT, and industrial automation. It's something that's going to completely blow up in 2022. Trend number 8 for all my crypto, metaverse, NFT lovers out there. It's going to be a boom in virtual and augmented reality. VR and AR were actively used, but I feel like they were kind of viewed with like a limited scope in mind. Now, these technologies, they become part of everyday life in various aspects of life, from entertainment to business, employees of many companies switching to telecommuting are now using AR and VR to help them communicate and work better together. Our boy Zuckerberg, he's not really our boy, we kind of hate him. But Zuckerberg is doing his thing by renaming Facebook to Meta and trying to get ahead of this whole metaverse idea. Immersive technology opens an incredible list of opportunities for transformations in all areas. AR avatars, indoor AR navigation, remote assistance, AI integrations into augmented reality, virtual reality, mobile AR, AR in the cloud, virtual sports events. Like, I'm a huge basketball fan. They now have the Oculus Rift VR experience. Like, you're sitting courtside, you can turn your head left and right, you can kind of see what it's like if you were sitting there. So, of course, you're going to see the big players, Microsoft, Meta, but there's a lot of companies that are trying to not only take their AR and VR segment to the next level, but they've already agreed that 2022 is going to be the year you're going to see substantial growth in these areas. Trend number 9, increase micro mobility. So at the beginning of the year, micro mobility pretty much slowed down due to the pandemic. If you don't know what micro mobility is, think of electric bicycles, electric scooters. They were on the rise. I was using the Bird scooter in San Antonio with my homies because it was fun, because it was like, why would we walk around when we can scoot around, and it's like actually fun to do that. And now people are taking subways and then hopping on a scooter, hopping on an e-bike to get to somewhere, because a subway can only get you so far, but maybe you just don't want to walk because that's just the world we live in. The market for private micromobility solutions is expected to grow by 9% compared to dock times, and the sharing economy by 12%. So Milan, Brussels, Seattle, Montreal, New York, San Francisco, they've all built 30 kilometers. Americans, I'm sorry, you just have to go Google that. I just have to do kilometers for this one. But they've all dedicated bicycle paths. They've all dedicated space for these micro-mobility solutions. Startup drive innovations in this area, like I mentioned, Bird, Lime, Dot, Skip, Tier, Voy, they're all trying to not only take what they've done in the past, but try to find ways to get more and more people to leverage these solutions. And trend number 10, self-driving innovation. Progress in autonomous driving technology awaits us in 2022, y'all. Honda recently announced that it will mass-produce self-driving cars. Tesla's autopilot has learned not only to control the movement on the lane and automatically rebuild, but also recognize road signs as well as traffic signals. But yet, for some reason, Tesla still keep getting recalled, and I still don't have the ability to order my Cybertruck. What the fuck? Anyways, Ford. Ford is always going to be joining the race because they want to stay competitive. So they're expecting to launch a self-driving car sharing service in 2022. And some customers are going to be able to buy such machines in 2026. Ford, they're going to make you wait a little bit. It is what it is. I'm not mad. They probably need a few years to figure it out. But you got other automakers. I mean, just think about this list. Before it was just Tesla, guys. Now we're talking Mercedes-Benz is trying to get on the game. GM's looking to add Super Cruise autopilot functionality to its 2023 models. And due to fierce market competition, other companies like Lyft, Waymo, they're also developing self-driving technology. And many of them have already spent billions with a B on startups. GM bought Cruise for $1 billion. Uber bought Otto for $680 million. Ford got Argo for $1 billion. Intel got Mobileye for $15.3 billion. Cha-ching! Self-driving innovation is here to stay. And I'm sorry to my mother-in-law who, when I first mentioned self-driving, she's like, I would never let a car drive me around. But just think about the situation. If you're doing highway driving, if you're in traffic, if you are just going straight for 30, 40, 50 miles, are you really safer than a machine at that point? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I think humans, we have a lot of great things, but we have a lot of flaws. And the one thing I think universally we suck at is driving cars. And if you don't believe me, just look at the data. So look, Day One listeners, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, because my goal for 2022 is to improve my tech Twitter and my tech TikTok. We're hopping on TikTok. I've been kind of exploring with it, but I just kind of figured those are the two social medias I'm going to stick with for 2022. So if you have any questions, you want to talk about this, or you want to know more about what I think about any of these trends, you guys know where to find me. But for now, we out. Happy New Year. Peace.